So I was kind of right about this whole concept being of a reincarnation and everything. And he even says that in this episode, I didn't pay attention in the last episode, but he apparently says this is the master of our main character. He basically says that this is basically his ancestors. Well, I don't know why is it ancestor. Okay, ancestors' fault and everything. I didn't pay attention to the previous episode, which I had to go and pay attention to again. And this episode, he says it that it is his sea is sin, and he should be taking it on. But let's get into what this whole story is about. And I found it very interesting. I wouldn't say I found it emotional in any way, but I found it like a very interesting story because like this man couldn't find any cure or anything, and she died basically. The main character Francine, basically, she died, and he found a cure, but it was too late, and feels bad for this man because he worked so hard on getting the cure and everything, but he couldn't get the cure at the end towards her, who was who was trapped in this cage and everything, because obviously she was infected and stuff. So it's obvious why she couldn't do like he the villagers they didn't like let her out and stuff. So I mean, like let's be honest here. We are worried about our children, our own life, and plus our family and stuff. So obviously, we will put someone who's infected and could has a possibility to infect everyone around you in a secluded area. You wouldn't keep him or her out of that area because that would be crazy. Why would you do that in such a case? It was literally having a death wish or something. So it makes sense what the villagers did. They were right in their own regards and stuff. As for after what happened after she was born and everything, yes, this whole episode was kind of an episode that showed obsession in a way, because this wasn't a Gein's episode. I think so. That's what our main character's name is. Narumi's name is in the ancestry dialogues and stuff. Uh, I think so. Geen was obsessed with saving his love. Gene, on the other hand, was obsessed. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, correct me because I haven't seen the name correctly for each and both of them, so I may be completely wrong about what I'm saying for both of them. So you guys have the complete right to correct me. But yeah, Geen is basically someone who was obsessed with love and he wanted to save his love and everything. Gene was obsessed with crazy research and stuff, and he was just obsessed with obsession. He was so obsessed to Shirogane at a point that he just cared about her, nothing else. Like that's how he felt. Like that's basically it. On the other hand, we had Geen who was in actual love and everything. So, and this is where I feel like where the reincarnation stuff comes out, because Narumi is obviously Narumi. On the other hand, I feel like Gene or Gene, whatever his name is, he was probably the little boy. I forgot his name because he hasn't been around in like 3 episodes or something. So I completely forgot his name. But yeah, that little boy is basically his brother, and obviously Shirogane is obviously, well, not Shirogane, but what was the name again? The friend's name? I don't know, but she is basically, I'll just call her Shirogane, but she is basically somebody who was Francine, because you see her short hair and everything, and she even says that I'll be cold and everything when I get reborn and everything. So yeah, the reincarnation stuff happens, which I always find fun while watching something to be done with reincarnation. Something that I love is because that took place in Seven Deadly Sins, and I really enjoy that storyline for its reincarnation and everything. Really cool with what they do with it, the reincarnation and stuff. Other than this, I would like to say that the Zonpa syndrome, whatever it's called, yes, the way this man was obsessed with just making this woman laugh, Francine laugh for him. It's just crazy how he was obsessed with that. I would give points to that. Like this man was gone mad. Like he literally got crazy, and we see this at the point like he started killing people just so that Francine can laugh. So it's just like damn, like how much more can you go deep into the shit? You're just obsessed with her. That's basically it. And even after all of that, uh, he just decides to die, like just like the other guy who decides to die. And he has a justifiable reason to why he does it because he obviously does it to save people, but at the same time he wanted to get a control of them and give them knowledge and stuff so that he could get revenge on like these people could get revenge for what his brother did and all that. So it's justifiable for what he did. It is still an evil deed to do, but still, like would you rather want someone like who's just mad and possessed with mad shit going there, like would you want him to be someone to save the time, or would you like someone like this guy to save time? Both have their own needs, both had their own deeds, but still I would rather take working with this guy rather than go with the madman. Just saying. So we also come to know what aqua vitae was needed for. Aqua vitae is basically the thing he created. It needs a soul, and basically that means you have to kill yourself, and that's basically it. That's how you create aqua vitae. So, like a strong soul or something like that, he said. So, yeah, that's how you create aqua vitae. In total honesty, this was a pretty cool episode in itself. Also, the ending was quite a roller coaster, I would say. This man just blasts himself. No relevancy to the character, and I didn't feel again. There's one if there's one thing that I feel like the character the emotions needed for it is that I will only feel it for somebody like Narumi or the little guy. That's basically it, or Shirogane, because there's literally no other character that I feel is developed at this point, so that to the point where I can feel actually emotional for them. So yeah, when the old guy blew himself, I kind of felt bad for him, but it wasn't like oh I'm gonna cry or something like that. Nah, I wasn't that emotional at all because he had no character development, so it's just like I really don't feel anything for him if you don't give any character development, unless you make the death look like it's something at a stage where you actually feel at a stage because of the character development you have. Like that's basically how it is. Without a character being developed, you can't just kill off a character because it just doesn't bring the feel like the feel when you're with this character for so many episodes. You don't get that feel. So that's why I say the character development is something that I would call is not on to point on the series. Other than that, the story is very intriguing. The characters are very intriguing. I'm saying the character development isn't intriguing. The characters are very intriguing. Every character I've seen, I actually want to know more about them. But at the same time, you just kill off some of the characters that I want to see more about. So just like yeah, I really stopped caring at that point. Other than that, let me know what you think about this episode. Personally, again, I thought it was a decent episode, like a 6 or 6.5 out of 10, if I had to put it correctly. And I'm taking consideration mostly on story base because I really don't care about the animation at this point because I feel like the animation looks pretty good at like I really don't feel like the animation needs to be talked about because it looks pretty good pretty much every episode. So I'm not gonna go much into detail with the animation unless I see a big flaw in it. So the score is pretty good too. So most of the thing I have to talk about is the story and the characters and all that. So that's the reason why I say it's a 6.5 for me. Anyways, let me know what you think about the episode and see you guys in the next video. As always, peace.